Welcome to Educating Africa Diaspora Channel. My name is Michael Angeli Oguche. Presently, the world is battling against COVID-19 pandemic without end in sight. It seems then that other equally deadly pandemics such as HIV and AIDS has been overlooked as a result, even though they are still very much present amongst us today. According to the UNAIDS, the 2019 reports state that there were approximately 38 million people across the globe with HIV and AIDS. 1.7 million individuals worldwide acquired HIV in 2019. While this is a 23% decline, it is still a pandemic that has no cure. Worse still, some people do not even know they have the virus. Every year, the 1st of December is set aside to mark World AIDS Day. The theme for the 2020 World AIDS Day is Global Solidarity, Shared Responsibility. This theme highlights the needs for all of us, including you, the viewers out there, to take responsibility and do your own parts. My passion about HIV and AIDS began in the summer of 2002, when I served as a volunteer at the 14th International AIDS Conference in Barcelona, Spain. Since then, I have carried the message about reducing the HIV and AIDS stigma to many countries of the world. I also published a little booklet on the subject known as HIV and AIDS, What the Church Need to Know. It is available on Amazon. Why it is important we continue to talk about HIV and AIDS as African diaspora is this. Africa accounts for more than 2/3 of the total number of global HIV infection and counting. As a minister of the gospel, I believe that the church as a faith-based institution has the capacity to influence positive behavior in society. And that's why I am involved. And that's why you should be involved too. Whether you're a Christian or you're not, whether you have faith or you have none. HIV is our problem, is the problem of the world, and it has come to stay with us. We are at risk because we are all humans. A while ago, I had the honor of interviewing the Reverend Canon Gideon Bamigisha. Gideon is the first African clergy to make his status public. I met Canon Gideon first in Barcelona, and this interview you're about to listen to was at the Queen's Foundation for Theological Education in Birmingham City, United Kingdom.
I'm Reverend Canon Gideon Bamigisha. I am an Anglican priest. I'm a theologian. I'm also a teacher by profession. I am a person living with HIV. I have known that since 1992, and that has made me become part of the global movement to end the stigma, shame, denial, discrimination, inaction, and misaction that is around this disease. Many people confuse being HIV positive and having full-blown AIDS. Every time I am talking, I find this that people lacking distinction on that. Being HIV positive means that you have the virus that is called HIV. Being AIDS sick means that you have the symptom, you have the signs and the symptoms associated with advanced AIDS illness. So for me now, I would say I am HIV positive, but I am not AIDS sick. In 1998, I was HIV positive and AIDS sick. I had all the signs and all the symptoms one would call AIDS, advanced AIDS. But when I started treatment and the treatment was successful, now I don't have signs and symptoms. In fact, my viral load has been undetectable for quite some time now, and my CD4 count is unbelievably high, 1,360 as I speak. So people should differentiate that, especially when we are trying to deal with the stigma that comes from people fearing quick death. When you fear quick death, it's because when they say you are positive, your mind hears, I am AIDS sick. When you tell a friend, you say I'm positive, the friend hears, oh, he's going to die. If you are a family member and a son or daughter or a parent tells you I'm positive, you don't hear I'm positive, you hear, oh, he's going to die. And that's something we need to differentiate, that you can be positive and live a long, productive and healthy life before you develop the symptoms. But even when you have developed the symptoms, the ARVs can reverse those symptoms so that you gain your health.
Now, you are studying. What are you studying? And why are you studying it? Do you feel you have a long time to live to reap the benefit of your studies and all that?
Well, people have asked me why I am back at school now, and they are saying that will I live long enough to benefit from the effort I'm putting in studies, and my answer to that is that why not? Why can't I live even to my 70s, to my 90s, if that is God's will and the treatment I am on is still effective, and I do everything possible to avoid preventable death. Of course, everyone can die. Even without AIDS, you can die. So my death should not be tied solely to being HIV positive. But given the fact that, as I have shared, my health is still fine, I don't see why I can't finish my studies and go back to work. In fact, I'm even leading a campaign which we are calling 2031 campaign, which is aiming at how to halt, reverse and overcome HIV and AIDS before it celebrates its 50th birthday.
I also interviewed Mrs. Mildred Zemonia of Waverley Care in the city of Glasgow. Waverley Care is big on HIV and hepatitis C in Scotland.
Look at HIV. So there's a lot of stigma, there's a lot of lack of knowledge, lack of understanding. And if you can remember, when HIV first came into the picture, there were all these billboards saying HIV can kill, talking about HIV being a gay problem, HIV being a problem for prostitutes, HIV being a problem for drug users. And if you look at that background and also how people were dying from the disease, it kind of, when those things are still in people's minds, when somebody is diagnosed with HIV, they think of those things. And because our communities, our societies are probably also not very ready to accept people who are HIV positive, it makes it very difficult for the HIV positive person to share this just ordinarily, like somebody would say, oh, I've got a stomachache, or I've got high blood pressure, or I've got cancer. People are more they can easily share about that, but someone with HIV, because of all these issues surrounding HIV, cannot easily communicate, what challenges they are facing. And so that places a lot of pressure on somebody, because they can't be free to talk about what's bothering them. They can't be free to share it with friends because they don't know how they will respond. They can't be free to share it with their church mates because they don't know how they will, look at them. Will they think they were prostitute? Will they think they've sinned? Will they think they've been using drugs? What will they think of them? So there's all this. And also people worry, okay, probably they've heard the messages about HIV being something that kills. So they are worried that they're going to die. So all these things are circulating in a person's mind, and obviously they do have mental issues when it comes to that, because they're depressed, they're isolated, they probably begin to separate themselves from friends because they fear they might discover that they are HIV positive. They begin not to trust people. They can't welcome people into their homes because maybe they feel they'll discover where they keep their medications. They can't travel freely for appointments. They can't tell their employer where they are going for a hospital appointment because they feel they might be asked why. So there are all these challenges.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you have learned something from this episode. See you on the next one.